It is official. Sony has just launched the specs of the Sony a7S III. Now, I cannot believe this camera exists. The price tag, we'll talk about a little bit later. But the camera is literally a beast within its relatable brothers and sisters. I don't know what to call them. This camera is insane. Specs. Here are the specs. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, the Sony E mount, of course, it's an E mount lens. The camera format is a full frame, so it's definitely a full frame camera. Pixels. Now, for my photographers, I know you will shy away from this camera, but this camera is intended towards my filmmakers, videographers, cinematographers. This camera is not intentional for pictures, for photographers, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you could get some pretty decent quality out of a 12 megapixel camera. But let's go into video and their resolutions. Maximum resolution on this camera, the Sony a7S III. Actually, all these specs just launched today, and there are a few YouTubers out there that have slash filmmakers that already have their hands on this camera. And let me tell you, Sony did remarkably with the colors that are coming out of this camera. I feel like they have improved on their color science so much. I saw Mr. Potato or Potato. I saw Maddie. I saw Daniel Schiffer. I saw a whole bunch of amazing content creators testing out this camera. I am flabbergasted. Maximum resolution on this camera is 4240 by 2832. That is amazing. The one that I am currently on is a 3840 by 2160 is the max resolution. Aspect ratio 1:1, 3:2, 4:3, and 16:9. Sensor type CMOS. Sensor size is a 35.6 by 23.8 millimeter sensor. Image format JPEG, RAW, and HEIF. Bit depth 14. Bit depth. Image stabilization has a 5-axis. Of course, the Sony a7 III also has that. Sony is known for IBIS. I won't say they're like the best, but they're definitely up there. Top 5, 100%, no doubt, hands down. Exposure control, ISO sensitivity, auto, you have anywhere from 80 to 102,400. Extended is 40 to 409,600. What? We have, let's go into video. Your recording, internal recording. You have a 10-bit RAW, 422, H.2.65, XAVC, HS422 10-bit, UHD 4K 3840 by 2160. Want to know the amazing thing about this? You can shoot 4K at 120 frames per second. Ooh. I used to always use 120 at HD, and I thought that was amazing on this camera that you're watching me on the Sony a7 III. Now the Sony a7S III knocks it out the park and says, hey, let me throw a 10-bit 422 and let's give you 120 frames per second. Top that. The camera is honestly insane. You can shoot externally, raw 16-bit. So it was correct. So you're telling me, as a Sony user, I am using the Sony a7 III, and we're gonna go and say, hey, from 8-bit, let's toss you up to 16-bit. I'm saying double. That's crazy, guys. Sony definitely outdid themselves. And you want to know the most beautiful thing about all of this? This camera has a flip out screen. Flip out. So basically, you can utilize this insane of a beast camera as a vlog camera. Shoot yourself at 4K. Why don't ya? You want some B-roll in a 4K quality? 120 frames per second. Oh, you want a little bit more of a slow motion? 240 frames per second at a full HD. This is insane, guys. This camera is amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm not gonna talk too much because I know that you would prefer to watch more of visuals, and I would love to be able to give you those visuals, but unfortunately right now we do not have the camera in our hands, in our possession, but we definitely would love to have that camera in our arsenal. They give you dual slot CF Express Type A/SD card slot, and then they also give you the regular SD card slot. Basically, they just took this camera and stuffed it with steroids and said, toss it out there. Now, no recording limit. You're talking about you can record for hours and hours and hours. Of course, until your SD card doesn't have any more space or your battery dies out. But the beautiful thing is that this camera will not overheat on you. That's like, what do you want? What else do you want? If you want some visuals, I will say go to Potato. He is honestly amazing. Or you can honestly go on to, you have Matty Hapoha. He has some footage, and he brought on Daniel Schiffer to do some videos for him. So go check him out. Amazing, amazing. And Potato Jet, go watch him.